Now, we all know that car guys and car gals love to argue about cars. And they want to discuss which brand makes the best cars or most high-performing cars. They want to talk about and argue which models are most significant. I know because I do this on a daily basis. Lucky me, it's my job. And well, this week, lucky me again, I get to drive around in, not arguably, just fact of the matter, the most iconic and significant sports car ever built, the Porsche 911. Now, my tester happens to be probably the most interesting of the Carreras. It's a Carrera S with a few special additions, if you will, one you might be able to see right now. And because I'm feeling generous, I think we should do a walk around together and take it for a spin. And then we can argue all we want, but the fact is, this is the most significant sports car in the world. Alright, so I might not be the luckiest guy in the world because it started raining just a few minutes ago as I decided to do my video on the car, but hey, life must go on, and well, this is still a Porsche 911 and is deserving of all the attention this car gets globally. The 992 Carrera starts in the US at $99,200, in Canada at a cool $113,000 even. Now, I mentioned that this was the most interesting of the Carreras because it's a Carrera S two-wheel drive. Yes, rear-wheel drive, not an all-wheel drive, which starts in the US at $115,100, in Canada $131,200. I also may have said something about some special bits on this car. And well, you're pretty much staring at one right there. Yes, my tester has the optional aero kit package, which, a funny thing, if you do select the package, it comes with a disclaimer that says that significant reduction in approach and departure angles. Well, that's because the front clip is lower, deeper, a little bit more aggressive, and yes, you also get that massive rear spoiler. By the way, if you want to know, that's about a $7,900 option on the car. It just elevates it visually to GT3 territory, worth every penny. What else does my tester have? Because it does have a bunch of options. It's got the sunroof, which I would definitely do without, cooled front seats. It has the sport package. Now, if you know anything about the 992 Carrera S and its options, you know that the sport package includes something very specific. I'll show you in a moment. What else? Stuff. You know what? That's about it. Grand total for the car as it sits here with the optional black painted wheels, $160,000. Now, what Porsche has done with the design of the 992 is just make it evolve brilliantly. In fact, there are aspects to its design that would go unnoticed, such as the headlights no longer being part of the bumper. Like, that's a throwback. I mean, it's a 911, no matter which way you look at it. Even though this car is bigger, it's still proportionately perfect. And what else can I tell you about the design of the car? It's fantastic. It's an instantly recognizable icon, deserves all the love it gets. Now, I don't know, you don't really need to see this, but it does have a back seat. That's not important. Oh, I may have given away the punchline if you didn't notice, because this car has, yes, it has 3 pedals, yes, and 7 forward gears. Let's just slide in the black dash or black interior with the contrast chalk stitching is also an option. Right, let's start her up. Oh. Yes, I love the fact that the analog tachometer is still front and center in this car. It's just, it has to be that way. There's so many things about this car that have to remain the way they are. Anyhow, look, there's your big screen, standard on the car. It's touch sensitive, so you can work it easily. There are your important access buttons, including the dampers and the performance exhaust, which is also part of the sport package. Like everything else is fairly straightforward and beautiful. Cooled seats, one of the options as I mentioned. What else can I show you? There is, oh well, yes, I can show you that. Because with the Sport package and the 7-speed manual transmission, you do get Sport Chrono as standard. It's an option with the PDK. And we can toggle through the drive modes right now. Now, I don't know if you heard the exhaust note change. You have your individual, which is a brilliant mode as always. And then there's this, but I wouldn't want that to interfere with my pleasure factor. Driving a 911, which I think at this point in time, oh, it also has a heated steering wheel. Yes, and the button is hidden right here, much like the Taycan. Okay, enough chit chat. Let's just go for a spin. I'm putting my belt on and we are selecting first gear. Now, driving the 992 Carrera S is as exceptional as you already know it is. And what makes it so rewarding is simply that it's the best driving 992 ever. It's not that the older cars were not, for their era, they were exactly that. But of all 911s, the 992 just sits head and shoulders above all of them. And the main reason or explanation for that is that it's also the easiest 911 to drive of all time. I've been exceptionally fortunate to drive a lot of 911s in my career. From a 2.7 RS to a 964 to a 996 to a 991 GT2 RS, and all just they're just fantastic automobiles to drive, but none are as intuitive, as connected, as easy to drive as the 992. Part and parcel to that are the transmissions, and that's the only question any potential buyer of a 911 should ever have to ask themselves. Do I get the PDK or do I get the manual? And the answer is, there is no wrong answer, period. If you want the fastest possible 911 in your trim, Carrera, Targa, GTS, whatever, you have to get the PDK. If you're going to be doing a lot of city driving or you're going to be stuck in a lot of traffic, PDK, that's it. Those are your only options. But if you want to fully immerse yourself in the driving experience, if you want to be never more connected than possible with your Porsche 911, it's the 7-speed manual transmission. And as I was just explaining, how easy this car is to drive applies particularly to the manual. The pedals are positioned as though tailor-made for me. The distance between them, the pressure needed to get the clutch pedal all the way down in order to do the heel and toe, right? And the heel and toe, the length of my feet. It's like Porsche are psychics. And the shifter's throws are easy, short, effortless. The word is always positive. What does that mean? It just means that there's no hitch or glitch into switching gears. You just do it. You just enjoy shifting. And you'll probably find yourself shifting more often than you actually need to. But that's not something you really need to do ever in a 911, because another element that just raises this car to a level where it belongs is is turbocharging. Flat 6, 3-liter twin turbo, 443 horsepower, 6,500 RPM. And the kicker, 390 pound-feet of torque from 2,300 to 5,000 RPM. I mean, that means this car pulls and pulls and pulls. And as I mentioned, with the manual transmission, Sport Carrera package is included. So that means that the 0 to 100 km/h sprint takes only 4.2 seconds. PDK with Sport Chrono, well, that time for the Carrera S, only just the Carrera S, drops to 3.5 seconds. That's something of a world of a difference, to be quite honest. Another aspect that makes this car exceptional is the optional rear wheel steering. This thing has shrunk to the size of a 718, is as agile, nimble, responsive as a 718 thanks to the rear wheel steering. This is just, it's a 911. It remains constant. It remains the icon. It remains the legend. The car by which all other sports cars are measured. And as I notice at the corner of my eye that my phone is moving, this car also has Porsche active suspension management. And I'm about to go over train tracks, so I'm going to slow down a tad. Which gives you adaptive dampers, which do a masterful job. That really wasn't bad. A masterful job at maintaining comfort. They also aid in making the car that much cooler because it drops the ride height by 10 millimeters. This is 2 in a row Porsches, although for the most part Porsches are always worth the price, the asking price. But a 911 Carrera rear wheel drive is, in my opinion, the best, smartest, most value-packed 911 your money can buy. Wow, that was a lot of words to say, to confirm that it's still a Porsche 911. Everything that comes with it always applies.